Alright everybody, back on the saucer. This is Friday, April 27th, and last weekend I worked on the lower saucer section, upper saucer section, and I also did some weathering. Today I'll be working on the upper saucer section and getting it ready for weathering. I hit it with the dog coat last weekend, put the decals on, everything's looking good. So this is ready to go. Over here on my staging table, that's ready to go. It weathered really good. I like it. I just used a raw umber. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I got some stencils I found with stars on it, so I'm going to put another star over here, and I'm going to put some kind of triangle design here and paint it in flat yellow on both sides to give it a little bit more detail. The main turret, I got to do the sides here with the raw umber, but I gotta hit it with a dull coat first. The top is done. The 4 turrets are done. They're ready to go. I'll hit them with a dull coat, and later today when I'm done with this, I'll hit it with a dull coat. I'll let the it's just going to be a star and 2 little patterns, and it's going to look pretty cool. Let that dry for an hour or 2, and I'll hit it with a dull coat. So let me go ahead, pause the camera, get everything set up, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, off camera, I got this section here. Turned out really good. This section here, I applied some more raw umber, and I'm going to smooth that all in with a rag. So let me go ahead and get started. Looking pretty good. There you have it. I'll continue working on this off camera. I still got a lot to go on the upper saucer section with the raw umber, and I'll show the results when that's all done, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the upper saucer. This little section right here I hit with the black, and it turned out really nice. I used cotton swab after I applied it with the paintbrush. I let it sit for a few minutes, and I just used a cotton swab. Both ends I used, and just rubbed that all in, and it really looks good. There's still a little bit of a light blue showing through, and that's what I wanted. And then the same with these are for the small turrets for the guns. I did the same thing. I applied the black, and then I went over it with the cotton swab. And then this is the main gun for the top turret. I did the same for the front. Left the rest of it alone. I'll see how that goes on the inside of the main turret to see if I gotta hit it with any more black. But I like the results. The next step I'm going to do is work with dark rust, and I'm going to work it down in this section here of the upper saucer with I'm going to see what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot, but I want to do a little weathering with it on that part of the lower part of the upper saucer section. And I'll pause the camera for now, continue working on the upper saucer, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update. This is the upper main turret on the saucer. It's the only thing I have to weather and use the oils on next to finish the oils. And overall is the raw umber. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. I thought I'd film it, but I'll probably do little segments of it just to show everybody. So I'll pause the camera now, get everything set up, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the main turret. On the top here where my finger is, I did it with the dark rust, and then the rest of it with the raw umber. I'll let that set for a few minutes. Then I'll hit it with a rag, but give everybody a look. And if I gotta add more, I'll add more, but we'll see. So I'm gonna continue working on this off camera, and then if everything looks good, I'll go ahead and film that part and show the results, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update. The upper saucer section's done. Like I said, I'm doing minimum weathering with the complete saucer. I'm just using the raw umber, and I used a little bit of the dark rust. Right here you can see it looks pretty cool. Did that section here, little section today with the black. So all I can do now is let this set for a whole week until next weekend to hit it with a dull coat. But she's finished. I think it looks good. I'll double check it tonight though, but I like it. It looks good. This is the top of the turret that goes up here. I got that all weathered. I know the lighting in here is not the best, and I did that earlier today. It'll look better later once I get it up on top of the saucer. I know the camera might not pick up all the weathering, but I'm happy with it. So I'll have to let that set for a week before I hit it with a dull coat. So my next thing I'm going to work on is the lower saucer section. I'm going to start working on that, putting the landing gear in and the small turrets. So I'll pause for now, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the lower saucer section. I just mounted the two small turrets here. As you can see, it's looking good. I got 2 more to go. I got one already set up to install. I'll let those dry overnight, but they'll be able to turn, which is cool. And I'll put the guns in later after I mount the last 2 landing gear. Once I mount the last 2 turrets, I'll start on the landing gear, and then that should be ready to set to the side. And next weekend I can work on the upper saucer section and the interior, so everything's looking good. I'll pause the camera for now, continue working on the lower saucer section, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update. I had finally installed the last 2 small gun turrets, so they're all in place. Everything's looking good. I'll let that dry overnight. Next step is to install the landing gear, which I have one right here hooked up to a 9-volt battery. Turn some light off. Everybody can see that they're all going to light up. It's going to look pretty cool. There you go, like that's how it's going to look when it's lit up, looking down towards the ground. That's pretty cool. That's a 3mm white LED. So let me go ahead and get that ready to install. I'll have 4 of them to install on the lower saucer section, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, final update. Just installed the 4 landing gear, and I installed the 4 small turrets. I'll let this dry overnight, flip it over tomorrow, and hook it up to some power, see how it all looks. But everything turned out really cool. Everything's looking good so far. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a wrap for part 10. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Sub to my channel, and I'll talk with everybody later.